All right, everybody, a little update on the electronic drum kit situation. Switchbacks at the Tama Club Jam Flyer, as you can see here. 14-inch kick drum, 8-inch rack tom, 10-inch floor tom, 10-inch snare drum. Got a new bass drum pedal, the Ludwig Atlas standard pedal. Now this pedal is surprisingly cheap, actually. They're only about $80. And it's actually pretty darn good. I haven't had an issue with it yet. I've read some reviews where people had the spring break really quickly. So hopefully that doesn't happen. But I went ahead and preemptively ordered several extra springs just in case off of Amazon, just standard bass drum pedal springs. And I put my Silent Strike beater on there. One thing I did have to do was basically tighten up everything on the pedal using a little Allen wrench for the little holes right there, as well as the drum key adjustments. And maybe that was some of the people's problems. So if you get one of these, make sure that everything is tight on it, because there was a lot of components weren't completely tightened. But once I did that, it feels really good. Actually, it's super fast. It's very heavy and solid. Switched over to my Pearl standard single brace hi-hat stand here. The reason why I switched to this stand, I was using a Tama stand, just a standard Stagemaster stand, but I switched to this one. I had it in storage, but this one has the spring adjustment on it, which is actually very useful when you're using VH11 hi-hats because they're so heavy. Now you also might have noticed this little pad here. This is a Roland Pd7 pad, so that gives me an additional tom, which fits in quite nicely there in this small little space with the 7-inch tom and then the 8-inch tom right next to it, and then a 10-inch tom down here. So that's actually pretty cool. Now I have a 5-piece kit, which is before I just had a 4-piece. And to top it all off, the main event here, the main attraction, is this ATV XD3 drum module. This thing is really, really cool. I've been toying with the idea of getting another new drum module for a while. I was looking at several different ones. I almost went back and got another TD17. I had one of those in the past and always regretted selling it, but I didn't want to quite spend that much money. E-Drum Center, located in Tennessee, I think they're in Nashville. They're somewhere in the South. They had these on sale for $100 off, so $299 with free shipping and no sales tax. And that just really made this thing too attractive not to buy, because the sounds in these things are absolutely killer. Now, this is a pretty stripped down drum module. It doesn't have a lot of built-in sounds when you get it, but there are a lot more kits that you can download from ATV's website for free, as well as you can build your own kits on ATV's website and install them on this module. Now, they are still pretty bare bones. You don't get any like effects or any ambience or anything like that, that you can play with. You can basically only adjust levels and panning, but the sounds that they give you are very, very good. I would say that out of all the modules that I've owned, which have been several, older Rolands, I've had the TD5, TD6, TD8, TD7, and then the TD17, as well as the TD27. And this module sounds better than all of them, in my opinion, by far. The realisticness of the sounds are just way above. I think they sound really, really good. There's a couple of kits that you can download. One of my favorite ones is this one called Music City. I think this thing sounds really, really great. It sounds like kind of how I would tune my drums, personally. So I really like it. I love the cymbal sounds. Supports 3-zone rides, dual zone cymbals, as well as dual zone snare drum. I'm not sure about the toms. I think the toms are single zone, but I only have single zone triggers on there anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Dual zone hi-hat, everything's chokeable, and the dynamics are excellent. It just plays really, really good and sounds really good. I'm still using the red shots on the toms. The 2-box snare drum trigger, and then a Yamaha kick drum trigger right there. And the one thing, I wanted to mention that's kind of weird when you get it, or it's a little unnerving a little bit, like when you go into setup, the extreme lack of trigger parameters that you can adjust it made me a bit nervous when I first got it. Basically, all you have is sensitivity, head rim adjust, hi-hat pedal sensitivity, hi-hat closed adjust, and crosstalk cancel wizard. You don't have anything else. There's no like re-trigger cancel, there's no mask time, there's no scan time, there's none of that. But it just seems to figure it out. None of my triggers are none of them are having an issue. They all trigger really, really good. And I didn't have to really do anything. I just plugged them all in and they all worked. So the one though that I did have to adjust was the hi-hat, the VH11, oddly enough. You'll see there on my hi-hat close adjust, I have that set to -18. Now the reason why I had to do that was to make the hi-hat splash function work. If it was set to 0, that wasn't functioning. But I was able to get it work by playing around and just messing with those parameters, and now it works fine. So yeah, really, really cool. I really love how this thing sounds. I know you guys want to hear it, so I'm going to go ahead and play a song for you guys. And use this, I'll probably use this Music City patch here. I also downloaded a couple of my own, or one so far. I made a couple, but I only downloaded one. If we go here, you can see Justin Dark. That one sounds really cool too. It's one that I built. But I still like Music City, I think, the best so far, because I just think it's really, really well-rounded. But yeah, really, really cool stuff. Very simple module, but it works and it sounds great. As far as other inputs and outputs, it has a standard left and right stereo output on it. It has a audio input, USB output for MIDI, Crash 2 input right there. That's so I can use this Crash over here. That's the only expansion port you get. But you can use basically a 5-piece kit, kick, snare, 2 toms, floor tom, and 2 crashes, 3-zone ride, and hi-hats. And it's really nice. I'm really digging it. Anyway, here we go. Here's some audio samples. I'm going to go ahead and play a song and let you guys hear how it sounds.